Hello anybody, I am Alpaca Patrol, and in today's Indie Spotlight we are going to be taking a look at A Game of Dwarves. This game is being developed by Zeal Studios and published by Paradox Interactive. Now I know what you're thinking, this is funded by a publisher. It's not an indie game purely by the definition of independent, but I'd say you are wrong. I think what makes indie games indie is not necessarily who is funding the game, but more a matter of theme. An indie game tackles a concept or set of mechanics that aren't always embraced by a mainstream audience, and on that definition we can consider A Game of Dwarves indie enough for Indie Spotlight. Now, nomenclature aside, let's get into the game mechanics. A Game of Dwarves falls into a new category or genre of games. It can be described as a management game, or one could refer to it as a Dwarf-Fortress-like, to be as descriptive as possible. The gameplay consists of ordering the inhabitants of a dwarven settlement to build and conduct research in order to strengthen the clan, whilst defending themselves from the terrible beasts from the depths into which they delve. Unlike many games of the genre, there will be a campaign mode in A Game of Dwarves in which you will complete quests by following objectives in order to win. While the story is certainly not the emphasis, your role in the lore is of a prince of dwarves seeking to take back their kingdom that was lost long ago to a group of evil mages. The information on how this mode will function is scarce, but Zeal Studios has shown a sprawling campaign map with over 20 regions or potentially missions for you to overcome. Of course, if you're looking for more traditional management fare, there will be a sandbox mode for you to tool around in as well. With the information known currently, it appears that even if you decide to play in the campaign mode, you will not be restricted in any way to the confines of your objectives for any particular mission and are free to build your society as you please. You can spawn new dwarves if you have available living quarters who are birthed through some kind of magic well, as there are no dwarf women. I may know of a certain dwarf who may contend with that fact. Your dwarves will have roles that specialize them to a specific skill set. Dwarves level up as they do their tasks, enabling them to do things quicker and more efficiently. A worker will harvest food, so your dwarves will have a good supply of subterranean apples, or whatever it is dwarves like to eat. Diggers do all the digging and expansion. Some items can be placed instantly, like ladders, but most items need crafters who will take resources and build what needs building. Scholars will allow you to research new technologies to advance the clan and make work more efficient, and of course dwarf soldiers who will protect your empire from the various threats that they may face as they dig deeper and deeper into dangerous territory. All new recruits begin as dwarflings, and once they level up, you'll be able to specialize them to whatever role you deem necessary for the task at hand. As you dig deeper, you may encounter caves inhabited by hostile orcs, or dungeons filled with dangerous enemies, and possibly even some sick loot. Needless to say, I will be sorely disappointed if you can't encounter a Balrog when you get too greedy. However, these dwarves are not mindless machines for you to just taskmaster around. You'll have to manage their moods and morale by building decorative statues and comfortable beds for them to live in. Dwarves do love them some comfortable livings. This is a game of resources as well as dwarves. You will be harvesting gold, wood, food, and of course stone, which will be the building blocks for all of the various structures, weapons, and armors available to you. There are also rare resources to be found deep in the earth that grant access to better buildings and equipment. Unlike other games of the genre, you are not going to be asked to micromanage these resources into stockpiles or barrels. Instead, all resources are tracked at the bottom of the screen for easy use. And the game generates a unique world each time a new level starts, making sure that the player needs to dynamically adapt their strategies and tactics during each session, ensuring for extreme replayability and the ability to have completely different societies on each run. One day you may feel like being a genocidal dwarf warlord, seeking to exterminate every orc you come across, or perhaps you'll go the pacifist route and focus on technology entirely and use the small amount of resources available as ergonomically as possible. You see what I did there? I'm so clever with the pun usage. One could call me hilarious or punny. Puns. Well, I think that's a good note to end, and that covers a lot, if not all, of the bases of A Game of Dwarves. This game is entering closed beta soon, but sadly you can no longer sign up for it. However, I have good news. The game is slated to release Q4 2012, so if they hit their target, you can expect to be able to play it this coming holiday season. Do dwarves celebrate Christmas? Well, I'll suppose we'll find out soon. I hope you've enjoyed this Indie Spotlight. Be sure to check back next Wednesday to see another exciting upcoming indie game. This is Alpaca Patrol, signing out. Peace, fools.